What about the other part of our session last time was about converting an improper fraction into a mixed number. And I will give you an example. 5/2. This is an improper fraction. And we would like to convert it into a mixed number.
Mixed number.
Yes. First of all, we will leave a space here for the whole number and then put the fraction sign and keep the denominator as it is. Then, what we do to find the whole number here? أهلا يا يوسف عبد الباسط، شرفت. معانا يوسف؟
2.
Yes.
2.
Yes, and the remainder?
And the remainder 4.
No, 2 times.
And the remainder 1.
Yes, remainder 1, because 2 times 2 is 4, and the remainder of 5 from 5 is 1. Thank you. This is an example of converting an improper fraction into a mixed number. ده كان مثال على تحويل الكسر غير الحقيقي إلى عدد كسري, mixed number in English. Okay. And what is about the opposite? Converting a mixed number into a fraction. يوسف عبد الباسط معانا؟ يوسف افتح المايك بتاعك يا يوسف، افتح المايك بتاعك. First of all, the denominator will be exactly the same. 4 will be exactly the same.
3 times.
Yes, Ziad.
3 times 4.
Yeah.
Equal 12.
Yes. 3 times
12.
4 will be 12. 12 plus 1.
Equal 13.
Yes. So 3 1/4 as a mixed number will be 13 quarters as an improper fraction. Thank you. يوسف معانا يوسف ولا لسه؟ هو يوسف طلع تاني. يوسف عبد الباسط admit. لحظة واحدة يا زيزو معايا. 1 minute please. Because Yusuf Abdul Basit is joining now. But Zizu, do you hear me well? أنت سمعني كويس يا زياد؟
أيوة.
الصوت واضح؟
أيوة.
طيب كويس. وبيقطع ولا مستمر دلوقتي كويس؟ ماشي كويس مش بيقطع؟
مستمر.
الحمد لله. طيب هنستنى لحظات بس عشان يوسف يدخل معانا عشان نبدأ في الجزء الثاني to start with the second part of our revision about what we should studied in the last year. Okay. Now Yusuf, I think it's joining, but he has a problem with his microphone. Okay, so we'll continue. Our second part of revision is about how to converting fractions or mixed numbers into decimals. How to convert fractions or mixed numbers into decimals. And this is our first example. 3/5 I want to write it in the form of a decimal using the decimal point. Do you remember that we talked last time about what are the decimal fractions? فاكر يا زياد اللي احنا اتكلمنا عنه المرة اللي فاتت عن ايه هي الكسور العشرية or decimal fractions in English?
أيوة.
What is it? What are they?
10
10
100
100
1000.
and where we put these numbers. الأعداد دي اللي هي 10 و 100 1000 بنحطها فين؟ بتكون فين؟
في الديمينيتور.
Excellent. So in order to write a fraction into a decimal number, we should change the denominator into one of these special numbers, which are 10, 100, or 1000. Okay? So now the question is, can 5 in the denominator be 10? And how?
10
ازاي ال 5 نخليها 10؟ How can we convert 5 into 10?
times 2.
Excellent. 5 times 2. And we talk in primary 3 احنا اتكلمنا في السنة الثالثة عن حاجة اسمها equivalent fractions الكسور المتكافئة where what we do to the bottom number we should do to the top number in order to not change the value of the fraction. عشان ما نغيرش قيمة الكسر أو نجيب كسر مكافئ ليه كسر مساوي ليه اللي نعمله تحت لازم نعمله فوق. As we multiplied 5 by 2 we must multiply 3 by 2 as well. So 3 times 2 will be
6.
6. Now, can we write this fraction in the form of a decimal?
Yes.
Yes. How we can do it?
0.6.
0.6. Excellent. Another one. 23 over 20. And we want to write it in the form of a decimal number or a decimal fraction using the decimal point. What can we do?
Five times
20 equals
20 times.
Yes, we want to make this 20 as a 100, and we know before that 20 times 5 equals 100, and we agreed that whatever you do to the denominator you need to do to the numerator in order to don't change the value of the fraction. عشان نجيب كسر مساوي بدون تغيير القيمة اللي بنعمله فوق نعمله تحت أو اللي بنعمله تحت لازم نعمله فوق. 23 times 5 as well. And we can multiply these numbers step by step. 5 times 3 is 5 times 3 Ziad?
15.
Okay, 5 and carry up 1. 5 times 2?
10.
10 plus 1?
12.
10 plus 1?
11.
11. So the new fraction, which is equal to the original one, is 115 over 100. الكسر الجديد اللي احنا عملناه اللي هو في نفس الوقت مكافئ أو مساوي للكسر الأصلي is 115 over 100. Now, can we write it in the form of a decimal?
1.50.
15. One or
15.
but the correct way to pronounce it is 1.15. Okay, Zizu? 1.15. Okay?
Okay.
Another example. 5 and 32 over 800. And we want to write it in the form of a mixed number. We agreed before اتفقنا قبل كده إني عشان أعرف أكتب as a decimal number لازم يكون الدينيموريتور اللي تحت يا إما 10 يا إما 100 يا إما 1000. Okay? And 5 will be exactly the same. We don't need to change it right now. مش محتاجين نغير ال 5 دلوقتي، لكن محتاجين نغير مين يا زيزو؟
ال 800.
نقدر نخليها 10 ولا ايه ولا 100 ولا 1000 وانهي الأحسن؟
نخليها 10.
Okay, but there is a
100.
number. Yes, 100 is much better. 100 أحسن. Why? How can we exchange 800 into 100? هل هنا times ولا divided by?
هنا divided by.
Because we talk about we can get equivalent fractions either by multiplying or by division. احنا نقدر نجيب كسور متساوية يا إما بالتايمز أو بالديفايدد باي. الحالة اللي هنا معانا الحالة أو العدد اللي معانا هنا الأفضل فيه الديفايدد باي. 800 divided by 8 will give us 100. And whatever we do to the denominator, we must do to the numerator. 32 divided by 8 will be
equal 4.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And now, how we can write 5 and 400th into a decimal form?
5.04.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Why we put 0 here? Because this number should have 2 decimal places because of the denominator is 100. So we put a 0 here, but this 0 can't change the number, can't change the value. It's still 400. So the correct answer is 5.04. And thank you very much, Ziad. Now let's move to another point in our revision about what we should study in primary 4, which is the place value of decimals. Ziad, can you read this number for me, please?
24.
I will not read it for you. Wait a minute, please. What is this, Zizu? What is this?
24. 200.
Yes.
249.
249 point, because this is a point, but I want to make it bigger. 573 what? 573 what? 573,000. Is not correct. The better way is to read this number as 249.573. 573. Or we can read it as 249 and 573,000. Because if we convert it back to its original, لو حبينا نرجعه ده لأصله هنلاقيه 249 and 573 over 1,000. Sorry. So the best way is to read this number is 249 and 573,000 or 249.574. What is the name of the digit 9? What is the place value of the digit 9? It's in the whole part, so we can call it units or 1. Okay, Ziad, are you with me? معايا زياد؟ 249 ده الجزء الصحيح من العدد فيه units and tens and hundreds. But the next digit to the point is tenth. We call it tenth. And the digit 7 in the hundredth place. 1 over 100. Not hundreds, not normal hundreds with S, no, with TH, hundredth. And the digit 3 is in the thousandth place. 3 parts over 1,000. 3 over 1,000. Okay? This is what we mean by the place value of each digit in this number. And now what about the values? This is the place values. These are the place values. 200, 4,000, 9, 400, 4 tens, 9 units, 4 9 ones, 5 tenths, 700, 3,000. These are the place values. But the value, this 2 equal 200. And this 4 is 40. This 9 is 9. And of course, we have the decimal point between these two parts. 5 is the value of this, of the digit 5 is 0.5. And the value of the digit 7 is 0.07. And the value of the digit 3 is 0.003. Do you agree with me, زياد؟ أنت موافق فاهم الكلام اللي احنا بنقوله ده يا زياد؟
أيوه.
شكرا حبيبي. طيب. الجزء الثاني معانا دلوقتي هيتكلم على the next part. In the next part we will talk about comparing two decimal numbers. What do we mean by comparing, زياد؟ ايه معنى كلمة comparing؟ ايه معنى كلمة comparing؟